Hello, beautiful sisters. Today, I wanted to talk about a topic that has really been present, I think, in our collective field as women today and as a society, which is the struggle of really being able to focus in the midst of constant distractions, and specifically our social media addiction. I will admit I am quite addicted to my social media. I'm addicted in that it's something I almost automatically move through or go to when I have spare time or in specific moments in my day. And it's something that when I go to, it gives me a bit of that buzz, that adrenaline, that satisfaction. So I keep going back to read messages, to hear beeps, to hear comments. And in a way, it gives me an energy that makes me go back for more. That being said, I realized that so much time spent on social media really takes me away from what I want to be doing with my time and energy and life force and the miracle of being alive. I don't want to waste my time doing things that steal my energy and attention away, doing things where my focus is constantly outwards. I want to live a life where I'm reclaiming my attention and my creativity for myself. And those are some of my deepest desires, to create more. And I know that if I want to create more, then I need to find the places in my life where I'm giving away my attention and my creative energy and my focus. And this is something that many of the clients I work with bring to the table. This idea that even though I'm successful and I'm this empowered woman and I'm working on my process and my journey, still one of the issues I still struggle with is social media addiction. And if you're one of these women as well, then let me just tell you, you're not alone. There are so many of us struggling to cut this addiction, and so many of us also just coming to terms that this exists. And how are we gonna remedy it? Because with every sickness, with every dis-ease, there's also a remedy, a secret little potion that can help us bring our lives, our attention, our energy back to center and back to focus. And that's the good news, that there are solutions. And of course, in the way of the awakened woman, they're not rough or violent or just, throw your phone away for a month of social media detox. You could do that if you have the capacity and the desire to, but that's not what I want to do today. Today, I just want to bring us back into alignment with the why behind why we want to stop this addiction, or at least reduce it, and how. Maybe a few steps to get that moving in our lives, so that to start with, we will just reduce that amount of attention that goes out and bring that back to whatever we'd like to create. And to start, we really need to understand the why. Why it's so important to bring our attention back inwards. And I assume that, like myself, you have a desire to be successful. To be successful and maybe to create and to be showing up in your work and your purpose and in your relationships and in your communities and in all the aspects of your life, even with your health. Because it's so easy to just sit on the couch for an hour scrolling through Instagram. I've been there. Than to go and push myself to move to go to the gym. But afterwards, after that hour of couching, I feel horrible. I feel lazy. I feel dull. And after that hour at the gym and the sauna, I feel alive. I feel on. I feel, come on, life, bring it on. And that's what I want you to feel. So my deepest desire is not just that we're creative and productive, but that we feel pleasure and joy and alive in our bodies and in our life. So the first thing to notice is that by distracting ourselves with so much in life, we're really cutting away from our joy and from our success. Because all this energy that goes scattered, half an hour here, 15-minute here, maybe at the end of the day, they add up to 2 hours. 2 hours of your energy, your focus, your attention, your love, your judgment, just goes spilling into what the designers of these social media platforms call infinity pools. That means that they're meant to go into infinity. You're never meant to leave Facebook or leave YouTube or leave Instagram. And of course, you can go and find amazing content like this channel. But you can be a lot more intentional about how and when and for how much you spend time on these platforms. And that way you can serve yourself. Because these distractions are not serving you. They're not here to make sure you are happy and aligned and successful in your life. They're here to make sure you stay with them. It's almost like a needy partner that just wants you around all the time. And that doesn't serve you, because maybe in this moment you need to be creating art. or connecting with someone you'd like to connect with. And that's the thing, you notice that literally social media pops in any moment in your life where you're not sure what to do. So any discomfort that arises, I grab my phone. Any moment I'm not sure what to do, I'll pop my MacBook and get Facebook. And so all these gaps or these voids are being filled with something that doesn't serve us. And these distractions are your worst enemy to success. Yes, to productivity, but also to success as joy. Joy in your life, because you are taking away from the things you actually could be doing with that time and that energy and that focus and attention. So let's reduce the pain of that by first seeing how much pain it causes. Those 2 hours wasted, your creative energy wasted, your mind wasted, your life force wasted. And what's the pleasure when I claim that energy back and I can channel it towards success, towards creativity. And maybe half an hour here, 15 minutes there doesn't mean much to you, but if you add them up and they add up to 1 to 2 hours a day, that's 60 hours a month. 60 times, that's almost over 600 hours a year that you just give away to these platforms. And these platforms sell your attention to ads, to people who want to come and put ads, because that's just the system they operate. So they're not here to make sure you are having a happy and successful life. They're here to make sure you stay with them so that they can sell ads to people. So today, make that intention that I'm ready to at least start to detox or start to cleanse, to purify that scattered energy to bring it back to focus. And one of the strategies I found very successful and very effective in dealing with these kinds of addictions is triggers. And I learned this actually from my uncle, who was a smoker. He lives in London and he has this lifestyle, goes for walks, goes to the opera, he does these different things in his life. And he noticed when he was trying to quit smoking that he smoked at specific times of the day that were prompted or caused by specific triggers. So for example, with his coffee in the morning, or when he's on the phone with someone, or right before he went out for his walk. So instead of waking up one day, like my mom did, and she just, cold turkey stopped smoking many years ago, instead of doing that, because that doesn't work for most people, he said, maybe I have 10 triggers a day. So what if I worked with reducing 5 triggers? So there's 5 times in the day where I would usually grab the cigarette, for example, in the morning when I go for the walk, that I would cut out. But that means I have those other 5 that I would allow. So I've reduced rather than obliterated. So for social media, for example, one of the triggers people really have is waking up. We wake up and the first thing we do is take our phone out. So automatically you start the day with that energy of your focus going outwards to people, to energy, to their lives. And it's like a lot of energy coming into you to affect your mind and affect your body and affect your emotions, instead of waking up, breathing that life force in, and creating a ritual for your morning. An aligned intention that will bring you into a state of flow for your day, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And it starts with just breathing instead of grabbing the phone. So can you start with breathing and maybe placing your phone in a separate room, placing your phone in the office or in the living room, and saying, you know what, for the first 10 minutes of the day, I'm not going to grab my phone, because that's one of the key triggers where automatically that distraction comes in instead of me going inwards. So I'm going to breathe, and maybe I'm going to have a glass of nice water with lemon, or I'm going to heat some ginger, or I'm going to do some stretches. Maybe I'm going to read my goals and really set my intention for the day or the week. Maybe really feel what I want from the day. And now, instead of tuning into what people want me to see and feel and what they're going through in their lives, I've owned my energy and power back. Another trigger is during the void. So when I don't know what else to do, when I'm standing in line, when I'm in the car. And those are very common triggers where we get really uncomfortable or bored in the void. And so we try to quench or to ease that boredom or suffering. Let's say mild suffering. So notice that discomfort when it comes, because boredom is a really, really heavy enemy as well, because one of the things we just don't want to experience in modern society is boredom. That's why we put so many distractions. So instead of feeling like, okay, I'm going to distract myself at any void I feel in my day, whether I'm driving or waiting in line or in the supermarket, I'm gonna breathe into the discomfort and allow it to settle, because let me tell you, when you start to welcome a bit more space, because you can read the void from a different place, which is just space, maybe in that space you'll get insights about your life and yourself and the people in your life and the direction you're going in. And maybe out of 10 spaces of nothing happening and no ideas coming, it will be the 11th one, because you gave that space, that you'll get the genius idea. And trust me, a lot will come in the moment you open that space. The moment you say to life, you know what, I don't want to be distracted. I want to be with myself. I want to be whole in myself. I want to hold that frequency of alignment within myself. So notice those triggers, and then what else you could do is say, okay, maybe at a certain time in the morning and a certain time in the evening, I'm going to allow myself 20 minutes each section to go on social media, guilt-free. Just scroll all I want, look all I want. Just practice that muscle, right? Probably the strongest muscle we have. And that's fine. That's where we're not just saying, okay, off the cigarettes, off the social media. We're saying, how can we start to reduce that by finding why it matters to us to reduce it and sensing the difference. So all this earned time. So with one of my clients I was working with, she noticed that in her drives, she tends to take her phone out. And we explored, what if we were listening audiobooks during these drives? And she said, I already do, but sometimes, I'll just waste some time. So instead of wasting time, every time she'll have this half-hour drive, every day to work, she's going to be listening to audiobooks. So that means probably every week she's going to finish a book. That's a lot of learning. That's a lot of upgrade. That's a lot of insights. And she'll be thinking about this book during the day. So automatically her reality is shifted when she's used this time and energy for something that is supporting her growth, her joy, her interest, her passion, instead of just allowing the social media to spill in like it's God or something, like it knows exactly what you want. It doesn't. Yes, sometimes they listen and they know what ads to spill into your feed, your news feed, but at the end of the day, they just want to sell you. They don't want to really understand what is your deepest passion. Who are you really? Only you can do that. And so now is the time to really claim back that attention, that focus. And say, you know what, social media? I see you. I see those infinity pools you've been trying to create to lure me again and again when I wake up and when I sleep and in my void. And I see the discomfort that rises when I don't come to you because of your magnetism. It just sucks me in. And I can breathe through that discomfort and say, I choose me. I choose the space. I choose to be curious and discover what the space has to offer me. And when you do that, my sisters, my friends, my community, I promise you that you will discover what it means to bring and call your energy and power back. Because in those moments, it's like, whew, your energy, your power is being taken away unconsciously. And in that moment, you capture it and you say no. You're also practicing your yeses and your nos. Yes for things that serve me, and no for things that try to drain my energy, my attention, and my life force. And by that, we're setting a new standard for our lives through this example, this addiction, this modern, I wanted to say calamity or disaster, but maybe that's a strong word. But maybe that's also not the biggest exaggeration. Maybe really it's time to say enough is enough. First to ourselves and our habits and how we've been designing our lives, and then really declare that to the world and say, I see what's happening. So this message is me saying, I see what's happening, and please allow me to share that I have not mastered the social media detox. I'm sharing this because I need this video. I need this reminder. I need to stop putting my phone in my bedroom. And I have many nights I forget, and I just need to remember. And I need to notice where my triggers are and say, actually here I will learn. And that's why in the mornings, what I have been doing for many years instead of going on social media is reading. I read for an hour every morning. And that's my way of claiming back that time and energy and that morning mist where things are still integrating in my being. And I can say, I choose to read this rather than open myself to whatever that platform wants to vomit my way. Not that there's not high vibe content there is. And on my newsfeed, it's mostly high vibe content. But it's a lot a lot of distraction and energy, and maybe in the morning it's better to just get more in the calm state of mind and really tune in to who you want to be today and every day. I hope this message was useful for you. Thank you for listening this far, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoyed it, you can share it with your friends. And of course, download the free courage meditation below if you are ready to seize the power in your life and step into a more courageous version of yourself that knows what she wants in the world and that no longer says yes to the things that do not serve her. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you again next week.